Welcome to Trading Lounge and the indices, and starting with the S&P on the weekly chart here. We are looking from this low here on the weekly chart all the way up here for 5 waves up for cycle wave 1 here. So we've got primary 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here, and between wave 2 and wave 3 here we're looking for 5 waves, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when we've got an extension in wave 3, we can look at the length of wave 1 and the length of wave 5 being similar. So take that with a pinch of salt, but what we're actually looking for from wave 4 to wave 5 here is 5 waves within this particular move here. Now we need to tie in, obviously the NASDAQ is part of this, and some of the other markets, and also stock, or the leading stock to the upside. So we're seeing, not just tech stocks, we're seeing, banks moving along very nicely as well. So we need to tie them. Basically what I'm trying to do is tie the stock market and the stocks, the leading stocks, into this wave 3 here, because the leading stocks tend to range further than following stocks, and they will turn, and then the other ones will turn with it. So it's really all about going from wave 4 to wave 5 here to get this wave 3 here, because primary wave 4 here, it may be simple, but it could also be quite complex as well. Wave 4s can be a little bit like that. So let's pick it up from this wave 4 here on the daily chart and start to work through it. And wave 4's here, and as you know, I've been looking at, I like to keep an open mind and I like people to give me ideas, but we're basically looking for wave 4 to wave 5 up here, and we're looking for 5 waves. So I'm always trying to figure out the best way to count this, count it to the upside. So quite often I'll change it, but the good news about, I know changing things is, people find that really annoying, but at least any other counts that we have, they're all bullish. It's not like we've got one bearish and one bullish, and the market could go either way, and then that's not very helpful, of course. So, but in this case, we're definitely in a bullish trend, as you can see, and we just got to sort of work it out. So what I've been doing from this wave 4 here, for example, we're looking for 5 waves of -1, -2, -3, 4 and 5 up here to have intermediate wave 5 of primary wave 3. So it's obviously the stock market that create this. So picking it up from this wave 4 here, so if we look at Amazon, it was a bit slow to lift off its wave 4 here, but the structure is really quite clear and quite helpful, because when markets like Amazon and Microsoft and so on, once they reach their primary wave 3 up here, in this case, this one here, then the market's going to turn lower, and it's going to take the indices with them. So when we've got a count like this, which is pretty clear, we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 here, and in this case we're going up to wave 3 here, and then wave 4 here, and 5 for this 3rd wave, 4th wave and 5th wave. So the difference between this one and, say, the S&P that we've just been looking at is, with the S&P we've got this as wave 3 here, and this is wave 4 here. So really Amazon is in front of the situation, So if we go back and just have a quick look at that here, so in this instance here we've got this blue wave 4 here already, which is this blue wave 4 here. It's okay to be, behind, because obviously the S&P futures will be trading in the off hours and have more, more patterns in play. But so that's really sort of where we are. So I think to myself, is there a way? The first thing I think of, is there a way to put this wave 3 here somewhere? This will be wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming up to here, and then wave 4. So I think to myself, well, can I do that here? Can I put this wave 3 over here somewhere and do this, and then push this over to here, and then that would be a little bit better timing for 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 this market, and also give wave 3 here a little bit more length, because as you know, over the last few days this has been one of my concerns. So I did have a bit of a look at that. Let me just get the other charting program up. Just while we're here though, this is our Elliott Wave algorithm chart here for, does all the counting, and this over here is AI. We've got 3 AIs working in this, and we've got a way to improve this now as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to integrate the AI into the actual algo here, so they'll be talking to each other. That's our plan with that. So that's in the pipeline now. And we want to come over to here, and I want to bring this off here. So this is the S&P index here, and we've got wave 4 here. It's a bit hard to follow, I understand, but in a nutshell, from wave 4 going up to wave 5 of intermediate degree, we're looking for 5 waves. So we've got 1 and 2, and that's the same as Amazon here as 1 and 2, and 1 and 2 here, and then the next 1 and 2. So in this instance here, I've got this going from a little bit different here. So I've got this one. This blue wave 4 is what we've got on the S&P at the moment, but this one here, I've got 1 degree smaller here. So if I open this up here, I was going to see it's probably pushing it a little bit, and you could probably sort of negate this, but 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 in here, then 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third, the fourth. So basically dropping it down 1 degree of structure. And then having wave 4 of it, because if I put this one here and have this move up here as 1 and 2 here, and then 3, 4, and 5 up here for this wave 3 up here, then that will put me in line with Amazon going up to this blue wave 3 here. So that will put me pretty close at that point, So I'm just sort of thinking about that a little bit. Not that it's going to sort of do us much, but as I've always said, going way back, as we get closer to this wave 3 up here, this primary wave 3, we have to round up all the markets and sort of steer them into that. And then in that sort of process, we'll be talking about, most of the stocks, how we can kind of get, because this is going to be a bit of a serious top here, It's going to affect, most of the market, and so we don't want to we don't want to leave any stone unturned, so to speak. So yeah, we just got to keep thinking about it, and so on and so on, and I mean, the other side to this, of course, is the trading levels. So when we come back here for a moment, what we've got here, we've had the major level 5 here, then minor group 1, which is 1, 2, and 3 here. Now, if we get support on 3, that flicks us up straight up to 5 here, and then we'd look for, currently this market has got the 5 here, not the 5,000 but the 500, has had it as resistance, and shortly it's going to have it as support and then move up. So we'll either be looking at this particular pattern here, we're pushing up through here now, and we could push back below the level, or we could go into a situation where it doesn't come back below the level. But either way, the wave count takes us higher. So yeah, I'll put this back over here, but basically we were just talking then about, instead of coming up for wave 5 here in this instance, because this is going to be a little bit quick, it's going to be faster than stocks, because this trades in the off hours. So we've got to kind of look at different ways of extending this out here. So we'll do something like this here, and in the meantime we can just look at this being sort of 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 going up here, and that sort of this, some sort of correction here, and then moving up again at that point, be something like that. So yeah, that's where we are. So we've got 1 and 2, and we're looking to go up to wave 3, which I would like to take higher, and then wave 4, and then wave 5 over here, and then we have this 5, and then we have this 3, and then that's the end of it. So I'll just remove that there. So yeah, it was still just floating ideas around different ways to view all of this. So just to sort of finish that off there, we can put this here down 1 degree of structure and have this as a wave 4 at this 1 degree smaller here, and then that would put us in line with most of the other stocks, not all of them. Apple I can also plant here as well and keep this as a wave 4 here. So I mean, Apple's been going quite well in its little move for this. So they're not all the same, and then Tesla's a little bit different and those sorts of things. So in this case, we've got 3 here and ABC for 4 here. I mean, I could put this as wave 2, as I've mentioned. We still need to go up here further. I still need to take it up to wave 3. Then you get the real sort of weird ones like Tesla here that would be sort of completely different. It's doing its own thing. So from the low here, we've had it as wave 1, and then wave 2 over here, and built in a couple of positions here. But from wave 2 down here, we're going to wave 3 up here. So even though that this is a different count, I still got to kind of put it into the same count, because when we come up to here, this will be 5 waves. This won't be wave 3 up here that we're looking for in stock. This will be wave 1 for Tesla. Then there'll be 3, 4, 5 up here, and then some sort of ABC pattern, and then going up, while the other markets are doing primary wave 3 and primary wave 4 here. So even though it's out of whack, I still got to get all these tops into play. So that's one with being in tune and one being out of tune here. Okay, so we can go in and have a look at this on the intraday here as well. So let's just not sure where we are here. So we've got this wave 1 here and this wave 2 here, and a couple of positions in there and whatnot. So this wave 4 to wave 5 up here is just going to be too small. Okay, so it's just going to be too small at this point. I can count here as we did as 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for 3, 4, and 5. But I got to take this up here further. Either way, I've either got to put this wave 4 over here, but also this here too. This here will become wave 1 here, and back for wave 2 over here. So in this case, I'll just draw it out for you. It'll be 1, 2 here. We've got 5 waves coming in here, which will be 3 and 4 and 5 up here, and then there'll be an ABC pattern, and then we'll go up for 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so all we need to do is just keep the stop out of the way if we've got any long positions in the market there, and having this as wave 1 here would keep it in line with the SPX as such, because this and the SPY and so on, so we can have a bit of a look at that. So with the SPY here, I've rearranged this one here to suit wave 1 here and wave 2 from that wave 4 here. So wave 2 going up to wave 3 here, and then 4 and 5 going up. Okay, so in this case here, I've already moved it along. I've moved it as 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third and the fourth here, and then going up for all of this, going up for wave 1 here, and coming back for wave 2 and 3, 4, 5. So if you're long in this market, you can just stay long at this point. But this puts us in line with the Amazons of the world, So we're getting in the later stages of the bull market, and of this particular section anyway. But the thing here is that if this is a wave 4 here, all of these moves here that we've been in, right, all of these have been in wave 1s and 2s. So now we're going into wave 4s and 5s, 4s and 5s and 4s and 5s and 4s and 5. So these wave 4s here, they're going to get a bit complicated and tricky. So don't lose money in them. Have a plan before we enter them. You either reduce positions or have wide stops, or give it the wide berth, whatever you decide to do. But we should see. It looks like I haven't looked at the ADP figures for the last session, but obviously they were helpful to the market, and that will lead into the employment non-farm payrolls on the Friday as well. So we should be looking at something like this here, I would imagine. Something like that. So anyway, we'll work through it. So that's the SPY, and we come over to the NASDAQ, and the NASDAQ's a little bit of a tricky one here, because the thing is that with the US markets, when it had this wave 2 here, we had that one of the banking situations where where this wave 2 came a lot lower back down here, and then sort of moved up into this wave 3 here. So with the S&P, it had quite a long wave 3 here, but this one doesn't have a long wave. Has a reasonable wave 3 here, but what I wanted to say was that we need the length of this here. We can't have this wave 5 longer than wave 3. That's basically what I'm saying. So if I put this here, then, and put a line, let's put a nice thick line through here. So that would have to be the top of wave 5 here. So we don't want it going any further than that. And if it does that, then we'll have to rearrange this here, into a different structure as well. So we'll see. Normally when we're dancing around large numbers like this 20,000 here, they tend to be what they call sticky numbers, and they'll hold the price to that number within reason, because larger orders will be attracted to larger numbers, and it's the psychology of things. So even though the NASDAQ stocks are going to be sort of leading to the upside, mind you, the banks are going to be doing well as well. We'll see how this goes. So just letting you know that if we breach this here, then Houston, we've got a problem, and we'll have to reassess this, which it's not difficult to do. I mean, yeah. So let's just go in. I wanted to say that. So now I want to go in and have a look at the intraday. I think we've got on the 20 here. That'll do. So basically here we've got, let me just get a bit more in in here to make. So we've got this wave 4 here. We've got wave 1 and 2 here, and we need to be heading up to this wave 5 here with this wave 5 here. We know that we don't particularly want to go too far above this particular area around the 22,000 here. Otherwise this wave 5 is going to be longer than wave 3, and that's a bit of an issue. So just pointing that out before we get there, and we'll see how we go. So currently we've got this here as wave 3 and 4 here. And then we also talked about having this 1 degree smaller in the last video. We're also viewing this as 1 and 2 here. So there's a few things going on here. The other thing here that's, that we've mentioned is that with the S&P on the SPX, it came down and took that low out here. So it took the low out here. And we've got, the wave 4 sitting over here for the S&P. But for the NASDAQ, it didn't take that low out here. It's nowhere near it, It's quite possible that we could put it as a wave 4. It's not like we've got the most sexiest, impulse wave here, which could very easily be viewed differently. But for the time being, we'll look at it like this, and we can look at it as 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here, and moving up for 3, 4, 5 for the third wave. Whichever way you count this, we still got to go further to the upside here. I just don't think we're at this wave 3 here. That's all. So I'm just going to move that out the way. we're probably need to be looking at this one up here somewhere. The other thing, yeah, as I mentioned, we'll be looking at this here as the 20,000 here, and you see how it's come up here. It's had the arrival, the reaction, and then normally we get 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here, and it's very common to see this move back here. So this particular pattern here would be the arrival, the reaction, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here, and then an A and a B and a C wave here, and then moving up. That would be the most common pattern that we'd get, which is this one here. So in the meantime, so we've got the arrival, we've got the reaction, we're looking for 5 waves here, and this is normally wave 3, 4, and 5. And then an ABC correction. Now it can be a bigger wave 3 up here coming back for a wave 4. It could be a wave 1 up here coming back for a wave 2. It doesn't really matter. It still gets, the only variation on this one is this one here where it doesn't come back below the level. But because it reacted here, and we're not in a parabolic move at the moment with this, we're in a strong move, but it's not parabolic, then it's likely to be that we get this one here where it drops back below the level. So we'll be aware of that. So with these, any long trades you have in here, we need to sort of start scraping them off. We'll see how Friday goes. If Friday closes strong, then we can look to hold over the weekend into the Monday, and that should be bullish. That momentum should take us through. But if Friday closes half-heartedly, you know, in no man's land, well, then you need to move out on that. And then we come over to the this is just the detail on that NASDAQ count here. So if just for the diehards, so we've got 1 and 2 here and 1 and 2 here, and then from this wave 2 here we're going all the way up to this wave 3, 4 and 5 up here for 3 and 4, and from wave 2 here to wave 3 here we've got a little blue one, this blue 2 here, and then 5 waves up here for wave 3 and 4, and then we're going up here. So this will be 1 and 2 in here. So we're not finished up here to this one yet. So just basically working through. I don't think, you know, it's basically expect a big correction across the 20,300 here, the top of subgroup 1 of 20,000 here, and that can pull back to the 2150 area here. So just be a little bit careful about that. It should play out somewhere up there. And then we come to the triple Q, of course, which is the same thing as well. So we've got this 1 and 2 here, and then we've got this strong move up here. And yeah, still more to go on all of this, but if you want to take a screenshot of that, then you can do your own counting with this. So it's still up to this wave 3, 4, and 5 up here for 3 and 4, and so on. And what's next? The Russell as an ETF. So we've got this wave 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 here. You know, I feel like I'm grasping at straws here for this, but like I mentioned, the other markets are lifting up, so this is just being sort of held up, but it's not really displaying any sort of nice impulse waves. But we'll just stay with it, you know, because while it's above the 200 here, then it's being supported. Our next step, as I mentioned yesterday, this is 1, 2, and 3 here, so we need to get support on group 1. It's been trying to do it, but it's not there yet, so hopefully we might see some continuation of trying to get up here and get that support here. Once it's got that support on 3 here, then it'll move off reasonably well. We just don't want it dropping down below this number here, because then we'll need to look at it completely differently at that point. And you know, we can see that the futures and the cash, you know, the cash and the futures are trading a little bit higher. You know, the cash is at sort of 20, yeah, a little bit higher, and the futures are above the 2050, so above the 5 here really. So the futures are leading to the upside here. They're above the 2050 area here. Yeah, just don't have a nice. I mean, I can see I've got 5 waves here. I see I've got 5 waves here, bit of overlap and all the rest of it. So this, I mean, you could look at this as being corrective here, and I could end up coming down here. You know, you could go long above the top here. That's fine. But yeah, it's it's a bit of a dog's breakfast really. So there's much better things to trade. I've been saying that for a while. So we come to the European markets and. Yeah, so this has also been a bit of a dog's breakfast in here as well. So as a wave 4 here, we're either going to be putting wave 4 here or over here, but the move up here gives it a bit of, gives me a bit of breathing space to keep this here. The 38.2% at the 18,000 here is where we wanted it to, well, technically where it pulls back to as a wave 4. So it's done that, and now it's pushing to the upside. I still don't actually really understand this pattern in a lot of detail, so I'm not that confident with it, but there are certain steps along the way that we can have a look at. So first of all, we're looking for a wave 4. It's hit our target. I could count this move up here as corrective. I could also count it up as being impulsive, but the corrective move really had the sort of benefit of the doubt, really. But let's go from there into the 1,000. And if we're going to look at it, because this move that's come down here as an A and a B and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, if we're going to count it up as wave 1, the only way that I can see we're doing it is put wave 1 here and 2 here. I could also put wave 1 here, by the way, because there's a nice 5 waves here. So we could go an A and a B and a C for 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. I've still got one short here, haven't I? So I've got to put that over to here. I've got to put that there. I've got to put that over there. I've got to put that up there, and that there still gives me a lot of overlap in all of this as well. So like I said, it's a bit of a dog's breakfast, and but looking at it as wave 1 and ABC. So the only other thing here that could catch us out here is that this move up here is just a wave A up here and a wave B here, and then a wave C coming up here, and then we come down again after that, so we need to be very careful about this 5-wave structure here. So in the short term here, I'll just use these because they're here. This will be 1 and 2, this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4. I could probably add that to that. I could probably bring that back over to this one. That would give me 3, 4. So it's going to come in around the tops here. So that means that I should probably be doing this 1 degree smaller, but that's okay for the time being. So it's going to come up to the 18.5 here and this old high here, and it's going to pull back. So it's going to move. It's got further to move up. How far it moves up, I'm not sure, but anywhere between that top and the what's name, and then it's going to pull back at that point. So after it's pulled back here, then you can look to go into it, or look for a classic trading levels pattern on the 18.5 here, and it'll be something like this, and then you could go at that point. So it just depends on how high it comes up through here. So obviously I'm not quite sure what's driving that market, but this will be, I'll just use this wave 1 here, but this is either going to be wave C or it's going to be wave 1. I mean, really it will be this wave 1 here, but it doesn't really matter at this point. What the important point is here is once these 5 waves are done, and this will also be in line with the SPY and the QQQ and the S&P and all the rest of it, right? So allow it to top. If you don't understand it, just allow it to top and to pull back, and then you can look at the A, B, C, and look at the B wave go along above the top, the second top, and it might be across this level here, which will be really nice. But we'll pick that up tomorrow. So we can expect Thursday to pretty much open higher, but then pull back, and then Friday can be bullish with Monday following through on it, and that's the one that we want to catch. So yeah, and the FTSE is much the same as well on the daily chart. The 38.2% is here, I figured that it'll be pulled down to the 8,000, but the market seems to be quite strong at the moment. Not so much this market, but markets in general. So, you know, maybe it will lift off from here, which looks like being the case. You know, once again, like the DAX, this is a bit of a dog's breakfast. This particular pattern here. And, you know, what I mean by that is it could be counted in different ways. The main point is that it is bullish corrective, so that means we should be going higher. It's just in the meantime, how far is it going to come down? What exactly is its pattern? So sometimes you just don't know, and you can get into the guessing game, and you can, you know, sell yourself your own opinion and all the rest of it and get yourself into trouble. So I'm fully aware of that. I'd rather say that I don't know and then leave it at that and just wait for something to arise that I do know. And if this move up here is impulsive in 5 waves, well, then that's something, you know, we put our trading hat on and we can look at that, you know. So from this low here, I was looking at this here being 1 and 2 and going up for, well, I could look at that a little bit differently as well, but it's okay. 3, 4, 5 here, 1 and 2, 1, 2. So basically across the 2 here, that's going to go up a bit higher. We're going to be looking at, well, just keep it really simple. We're going to be looking at somewhere along here. We're going to be getting a first high like this, so don't go chasing that up there. Once it gets there, then you can go along above that. If we can get a second high, we can go along above that, so some sort of ABC here, and then we can go along above that. Okay, so and this pullback here will also be in line with the SPY and the S&P because they're all doing the same sort of thing. This is, you know, it's not as strong as the other markets, but it's taking shape, you know, so we could look at that. Let's just checking this pattern out here. It's okay. Yeah, so this will be 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5. So there'll be about 2 or 3 more little highs coming up here. So don't chase it because it's going to pull back. Okay. And then we come across to the Aussie market, and this is not quite the daily chart, but yeah, this wave 4 here kind of lines up with the S&P, with the DAX and the FTSE, and that's good. So we could look at it as a triangle pattern. I could also put wave 4 under here as well. That's not an issue. We could also look at it in line. Having wave 4 over here is putting it in line with the European markets, putting it in line with the US markets, which is also important to see and understand to see if it's floating that way. Is looking at it like this here. So this is, funny enough, this is, you know, not far off from Amazon that we're looking at as well in wave 4 here with 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2 here. All we really ever sort of wanted from this whole thing is really to find support on this level, on the 78 here. You know, we've come up here, you know, we've had this high, this high, this high, this has all been lower highs. So this is the first time it's taken out some little high here. But this will also be impulsive as well. So we can look at that and look for a trade setup on that now. So if we go to, I'm not sure if I've updated this here, but yeah, done a bit of work on it. So yeah, I mean, we've been looking at it in a couple of different ways with ease of wave 4s and wave 1 and ABC for wave 2, and then looking at this here. So yeah, I think that I don't want to look at this as 1 and 2 and then have the wave 3 over there. I kind of want to have this in a situation where this is just wave 1 up here coming out of this correction here, because then it puts it in line with the triple Q and the other markets. And the other thing here too, to see this sort of move off strong here now, we know the banks are powerful, but now we can see BHP moving up here. So we can also see, I won't go into it in this video, but the iron ore has done a bit of a lift as well. And so has lithium as well. There's a few of them that have lifted off there. So if we get the mining and the banking in the same direction, then this is going to move along quite nicely here. So yeah, this will be, let's check in. So this will have a few little tops in here. So let me just get this here. So what you see here is not what you get next, okay? So just be aware of that. You know, it could be something like this here. Could be quite small, and then back here, and just trying to squash it up a little bit. I'm going to borrow these here because I like to keep it as wave 1 at this point. But what I'm sort of saying here is that this wave 2 here is really what we want to be looking at here. We want this to top. See, these are the beginnings here, the beginning of the trend. This is the middle of the trend, and now we're in the end of the trend. So if I cut that off here and then turn this upside down and stuck it up here, this image here upside down here is what you'd be looking for up here. So we don't want to get caught in all of that here. It'll just do your head in and take your attention and all the rest of it. So so just allow it to top and turn, and we'll see what we can pick up for the Friday setup on the long side, because, you know, I mean, if you're buying some other sort of stock or ETF or something, then it's okay, but basically we'll be looking for this here. It'd be a bit jaggedy, you know, and then we can go long above that B wave here, or because we've got 5 waves here, we could probably even buy this back here as well, get a better position. But we should end up, you know, somewhere up at the 8,000 as soon as we get a tested support on this. So apologies for not getting you in any earlier here, but yeah, there we go. It looks like it's starting to shape up, so at least we'll get something, you know, out of all of this. Alrighty, sorry for such a long video. Cheers.